So in start to finish here, it's an OMP M2, a T-Rex, actually it's a Blade 450 with a T-Rex canopy, a T-Rex 470, a Devil 380, a Devil 420, T-Rex 500 flybar, Goblin 500, T-Rex 600 Nitro flybar, Compass 7HV, T-Rex 700, Proto 700. So this is why we say that if you fly this guy right here, your next helicopter should not be that guy. Start with something smaller. This Protos right here will kill that kid right there and anyone else around it. So if you fly a M2 and you want to go to a 470, here is the size of a 470 next to the M2. If you want to go from the M2 to a 500, here's the M2 next to a 500. If you want to go from the M2 to a 420, say the Goblin 420, pretty much the only 420 on the market aside from the Devil, that is the difference between a 420 and an M2. If you want to go from an M2 to a 600, that is the difference between an M2 and a 600. All right, let's say you fly a 450 size helicopter and you want to go up bigger. Here is a 450 next to a 700. All right. And let's say you want to go from a 450 to a 500. Here is a 450 next to a 500. So I don't know if it looks like it, but the 500 is quite a bit bigger helicopter than a 450 size helicopter. So if you start with this guy, your next step, best step up would be a 450 or like a 300X or this T-Rex 470L is a really nice flying helicopter. It is quite a bit bigger than the M2. It is quite a bit bigger than the M2, but you know, anything can be tamed down. You know, the crash cost on the M2 and is obviously cheaper, and it crashes a lot better. I have hit the ground with that one time. It didn't do anything to it, but I'd say the 470 is a good size to go up to. But 500s, I mean, it's quite a bit bigger than an M2. It would also be pretty intimidating spooling that up after an M2. But definitely don't go from that guy to one of these guys. I know there's going to be guys out there that say they have done it and they learned better that way and all that, but there's just no reason while you're learning to buy a 700. They're more dangerous. They crash more violently. Everything's expensive on them. Any crash on any of these 3 700s is going to be a $250 fix at least. You know, and some of these, like the Protos, you really can't get parts for. The Compass, you really can't get parts for. The T-Rex, you can obviously get parts for. The 600 Nitro, you can get parts for because it's pretty much the same as the new 600s. But the Protos, you definitely can't. That's the other thing. If you don't know how to fly or you're not good at flying yet, don't buy a helicopter that you can't get parts for anymore. I won't probably crash any of these 700s. but if I do, you know, this has $1,000 in electronics on it, so I can just pull them out and put them in another helicopter. But yeah, I just wanted to show everybody the size difference between something down to a micro like the M2 all the way up to a 700 size helicopter and what they look like next to each other. Because when I bought my first 700, I was kind of astonished at the size of it, because pictures really don't do it justice, but I think seeing them all lined up here really helps. So, all right, happy flying.